This video is going to be about another forgotten empire. Although people do not see much of Yemen's history until after Islam spread into the area, the region had a truly unique history that is criminally overlooked by many people. These were the South Arabian kingdoms. They spoke a unique language, used a script similar to the Ethiopians, and at one point even practiced Judaism. A side note, I will refer to this region that encompasses modern-day Yemen as Hadhramut, as that is another historical name for the region. The first notable South Arabian kingdom were the Sabayans, which may be the land of Sheba mentioned in the Bible. Their rise was a consolidation of nomadic tribes. The leaders of different tribes were able to unite into a collection that spanned the entire region of Hadhramut. The Himyarite kingdom soon arose and conquered the Sabayans, with a handful of them surviving further inland in the hostile desert environments. The Himyarites were able to establish a more dominant and centralized position in Hadhramut because they not only conquered the Sabayans, but several other smaller kingdoms inhabiting the region of South Arabia. The Himyarites occupied a dominant role in the trade industry, as they linked the Mediterranean with Africa. Myrrh, frankincense, and ivory were the main goods that the Himyarites held dominance over. After quelling various rebellions and kingdoms that threatened their dominance, the Himyarites decided to make a bold political move. Their monarchy switched their faith from their traditional polytheistic South Arabian religion to Judaism. This may have been influenced by their neighbor Aksum's switch to Christianity, or motivated by the neutrality that the religion offered, as the Sasanian Persians practiced Zoroastrianism and a religion called Manichaeism, while the Romans practiced Christianity. Whatever the motive was, temples were abandoned and nearly everyone abruptly switched to following Judaism. This was brought to the knowledge of the Romans, who attempted to convert them to Christianity to establish a protectorate in the area. This was unsuccessful in Hadhramut. The retaliation to the Romans trying to introduce Christianity into the area was harsh, and many Christians in the area were killed. This led to Aksum, the Christian kingdom to their south, invading the South Arabians. Soon, the Himyarites were forced to become a tributary state of the Aksumites. Their monarchy was abolished, and a Christian ruler sent by the Aksumites ruled over the area of Hadhramut. Later, a revolt led by many natives of the area killed the Aksumite established ruler. The expulsion of the Aksumites in the region was further assisted by the Sasanian Persians, who ended up taking control of the region of Hadhramut. Following the Sasanian rule, there were Islamic kingdoms that arose in the area, and that led to Hadhramut being incorporated into the Islamic world, which defined the history of Arabia after the religion was formed in 600 AD. Hadhramut also had strong relationships with Indonesia, as they were heavily engaged in the spice trade. This also helped to introduce European ideas into the area. Even after the spread of Islam, Hadrami Arab traders played an important role in the spread of Islam to Indonesia. Because of these long and close ties, there may be more than 1 million Indonesians today with at least partial Hadrami Arab ancestry. One more interesting note is that the people of Socotra, an island that is owned by Yemen and was always closely affiliated with the South Arabian people, were visited by the Portuguese in the early 16th century CE and converted its inhabitants to Christianity, leading to an interesting native Christian population for the time being. Others who visited the island were surprised that they had adopted Christianity, but this did not last long, as Muslim kingdoms soon converted the island's inhabitants to Islam. Now, we will end this video with a brief alternate history segment. We will be focusing on the question, what if the South Arabian kingdom survived to the modern day? The Himyarites were the largest and most influential of the South Arabian kingdoms. Thus, we will assume that they were the ones to survive longer than their actual fall around 525 CE. We will have to assume that they did not fall to either the Sassanids or the Muslim kingdoms that arose in the 7th century CE. The people would continue to practice their own form of Judaism, but it would soon come under the control of the British Empire. As this was the case with present-day Yemen, their borders would likely be similar. As they practiced Judaism and were surrounded by Islamic states, relations with its neighbors would be tense. However, Israel would likely be a very close ally for their shared religion. Indonesia would maintain its relations with the South Arabians because of its important trade routes and the number of Hadramis in Indonesia. In addition, it may be possible that Jews that fled Europe to Israel might also have diverted to this country because of their religion. It would also be seen as an appealing tourism spot for the Western world, assuming the controversies that are currently occurring never happened. One last thing I would like to mention in this segment is the Khazar Kagane, which was a magnet for persecuted Jews around the Caucasus and Europe. Their rulers even converted to Judaism around the 9th century CE. For the time when they coexisted, these two would likely have a cordial relationship. I will likely do a video in the future elaborating on the Khazars. The South Arabians were a unique kingdom that has long been overlooked in favor of more recent history of Yemen. Once again, if you have any corrections, questions, or suggestions, feel free to comment on it below. Also, I have compiled all of the Forgotten Empires videos into a playlist, so that may be of interest to you. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, you may want to subscribe to be notified when I release my next video.